Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of JMS who as well. Peace and salutation to the elect. My name is Anah. I'm back with another video. It's titled If wwIII is this close, then the MOTB is even closer. Basically, I got two videos pulled up. One from 4 months ago, one from about 3 hours ago. And I'm pretty much going into the fact how the Lord is pushing Esau Edom closer and closer into that snare of a trap that he has set for him, pursuant to what Jeremiah 50 and the prophecies in what Ezekiel 37. Basically the Great War, World War III, that's supposed to take place. That Russia is gonna, spearhead in attacking United States, Babylon the Great, and also Israel, right? And we can see in these two videos that NATO was pushing to basically join the fight with Ukraine. Ukraine not being a part of NATO, but you know, Esau Edom just enlarging his desire as hell. Trying to push closer and closer to the territory of Russia, which Russia said did not do. So we can see the Lord, is at work. These prophecies are jumping off the scriptures, and everything is going according to plan. So pretty much we'll just get these scriptures or these videos. Sorry.
Conflict with a radiation hazard. Anyways, we got a radiation hazard, an undeclared, unexplained radiation hazard in this particular region. What the hell is going on with that? Who knows? Now, this gentleman here, what is his name again? Vladimir Zhirinovsky, okay? Now, these are predictions. This guy died, I believe, in, I think he died before the actual war started. Here's what he said. This is back in 2019 when he said this, okay? And usually, if a person gets a few failed predictions wrong, a lot of people don't take him seriously. He predicted the Ukraine war pretty much down to the month, years in advance. In 2024, he says there will be no election. And I think he's referring to Ukraine. There will be no country called Ukraine, when he was right about there not being an election because, of course, they've declared martial law, and for reasons of national security, they've decided to postpone the election. Sure, you don't take into account the situation in the Middle East. Remember, this is 2019. Such events will develop there that everyone will forget what is Ukraine. Talk about prescient. It's about the Third World War, he says. And Iran. This is not Vietnam and not North Korea and not Kosovo. I don't know. Here will be the scariest events. And there's another prediction presentation where he basically predicts what's going to happen with the Ukraine war. He says, I will give my prognosis, and then I'm going to tell you what is next. The events of the next 3 to 5 years is back in 2019 again. The Ukrainians will attack on Crimea and Donbass. Check. And we stand up to, in defense, we destroy the Ukrainian army, and at the same time, the Polish army helps them. Now, the Polish army has been helping them. NATO has been helping them, but not in the way that I think he envisioned, of course, as mercenaries in terms of providing them weapons and supplies. So not as to interfere with the territory of NATO countries. So we knew that if NATO got involved, it would be an immediate nuclear war, right? The Polish army also perishes, he says. So we haven't seen that yet. Then the German army joins in, which we are seeing. Goes on to say, there's a clash between the Germans and the Russian armies, which is insane because that's kind of happening, but only in the form of Leopard tanks and soon to be Taurus missiles and whatever other German weapons are currently being used by Ukrainians and mercenaries, many of them likely originating from Germany, United States, and all over the world. And so we're having that situation already play out. And we will agree on the division of Ukraine. He says the western regions will be called Galicia, the new state, lava, blah, 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 a bunch of words I don't understand. 5 territories which left Poland. This is a new state which joins both the EU. So basically he's saying that the Russians are going to take over 80% of Ukraine and that NATO is basically going to get the rest. Now let's talk.
All right. So this is Canadian Prepper. You can go ahead and watch the whole video. You see here 42 minutes long. Pretty interesting. I had this in my watch laters. Like I said, it's from 4 months ago. And basically in this video, this guy's predicting pretty much what's taking place right now in the world. So, and according to prophecy, these things will take place. Leading up to World War III, we got rumors of wars. Different things happen in the world, right? So, my point is that NATO and his prediction that NATO would eventually join in, and basically kick off World War III. So we got here. This is posted 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago. I haven't refreshed the page yet, so what I'll do is play the beginning of this for you right quick.
All right, World War III begins in just 51 days. Set your calendar, everyone. Get your shopping done because 51 days, those aren't my words. Those are actual headlines from mainstream Western media warning us all that doomsday is coming soon. Exact date, World War III will start as new Nostradamus claims it's just weeks away. The new Nostradamus. July 18th, by the way, is the date. July 18th, 2024. It happens to be the exact date that the...
Right, and we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Through the Spirit, we understand that what's been taking place is World War III. We are in the middle of World War III. It just hasn't gone full blown yet, and nuclear weapons haven't been used because we understand the prophecies, and according to prophecies, that Russia will use nuclear weapons against Babylon the Great and Israel and destroy them completely, and no man will ever dwell there again, right? In Babylon the Great, but Israel will be rebuilt, for the sake of the Israelites. So going here.
This should not be in Wildwood, New Jersey. This should not be German U-boats. What the hell? There's a Nazi German U-boat out there. Don't tell anybody. This weekend, the head of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, said in a speech that the West should loosen its restrictions on attacking Russia inside of Russia.
What?
This guy is an absolute nutbag from Norway who's fine. I think he's totally fine on having his entire country destroyed as a result of this as well. Says rules on using Western weapons should be eased. We need to roll this out. Of course, he's echoing similar sentiments from Satan herself, Victoria Nuland, who brought up this idea last week. So you can see Zelensky, Jens Stoltenberg, all of these yahoos are falling in line with Satan.
They need to be able to stop these Russian attacks that are coming from bases inside Russia. So I think there's also a question of whether we, the United States and our allies, ought to give them more help in hitting Russian bases, which heretofore we've not been willing to do. I think if the attacks are coming directly from over the line in Russia, that those bases ought to be fair game, whether they are where missiles are being launched from or where they are where troops are being supplied from. I think it's time for that because Russia has obviously escalated this war, including, as you said at the beginning, attacking Russia's second city, Kharkiv, which is not on the front lines, and trying to decimate it without ever having to put a boot on the ground. So I think it is time to give the Ukrainians more help hitting these bases inside Russia.
One of the reasons...
Now, of course, she was the one who helped create the 2014 Maidan coup.
Right, so we can see from 4 months ago when the guy posted that video about the guy that made those predictions about back in like 2019 or whatever the case may be. Basically, we can see now that NATO is ready to step in. They're moving forward. Yahweh Bashmiel Shah is pushing them forward with his plans, basically to bring down Babylon the Great by having them in that snare, that trap, where at least the flock shall draw them out, right? And that's what's happening pretty much over there. Getting right here, Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yet also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, talking about Esau Edom, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So that's what Babylon the Great is trying to do with this new world order, basically to rule the whole world, have everyone microchipped and under their control, right? So they're inching closer and closer to the borders of Russia, and Russia doesn't like that. But let's get that from the top. Habakkuk 2:1, it says, I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon a tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, right? And that's what the prophets are doing today, starting from Elder Pastor Hart on down. They're, reading the prophecies, and, running around basically on these different street corners, preaching the word to, to the nations, to the world, to the elect, and to the 2/3, letting everyone know their judgment. It says, for the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, right? So that's those prophecies. That's the prophecies of Jacob's trouble. Elder Pastor Hart calling this year the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. That's the year we're currently in. And as we can see, the prophecy and things are at the door. If World War III is right there, if they're talking about World War III is right here, it's starting in like what they said, July 31st or whatever, 18th or something. Is 51 days away. If they're saying that, then how much more so the MOTB and Jacob's trouble, right? So these prophecies are fine, they're here basically. Let me get right here. I start at this is 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. It says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So that's pretty much it. The end is manifest. We are starting to see the end of this thing. Basically, the end of the ring, of Babylon the Great. Their power, their control, what the scriptures say. Esau is the end of the road and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And we can see that Esau Edom is basically, driving his place to the end of the world, basically getting trapped up in that snare, trying to go to war, right? But it's a trip bag, and they won't succeed in this war, that being World War III. What the scriptures say, behold, the third wolf coming quickly. So let's get this from the top. 2nd Esdras chapter 9 verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass which I have told thee before, which being prophecies, and they are coming to pass, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, and we are seeing that heavenly, we have a lot of upwards in the people regarding different things. Israel, with the things that they're doing over there. Ukraine, all the people dying. People are being drafted unwillingly. They don't want it to happen. And the upwards of people just saying, we don't want World War III. But World War III will happen. It says, Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. What is the end? Great destruction, famines, woe, pestilence, earthquakes, war. So yeah, that's it. Romans 13:11 says, And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe, right? So they put a date on it, which no man knoweth the day or the time, which we'll get that also. But they put a date on it, basically letting you know, regardless of what, it is close. It is very close for them to say, certain things like World War III. So wait, even President Trump is saying, he's going to be the president to stop World War III because Biden is leading us into World War III. So World War III, keep in mind, World War III is the end of the world. These other individuals are not focused on prophecy. When you get information from them, World War III, as we know it, is the end of the world according to prophecy. But we understand other things are going to take place, being Jacob's trouble. Going to what? Daniel chapter 12, Jeremiah 30, Jacob's trouble, like a day never seen before. What did the one guy said? Times unimaginable. See, it says here will be the scariest events. Right, so that's what we're leading up to. Jacob's trouble, the scariest events, things never seen before. Once again, Romans 13:11 says, And that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. Right? So that thing is going to come as a thief in the night for some. Proverbs 20:24 says, Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Right? So Esau Edom is in a trip bag right now. He thinks he took this crafty counsel to bring in his new world order to implement the MOTB, which the Most High is going to take the what is that, Job? Well, no, let me see. Man, I forgot it because I seen this. This is similar. Let me see. They got it. Okay, Job 5:12. It says, Job 5:12, He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right? And that's why the days are going to be sped up for the lake's sake, because, if it wasn't, no flesh will be saved. Because Esau Edom, just like we read, or I don't know if I got it yet. Yeah, we did. Where is it? Who enlargeth, this is Habakkuk 25, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. Right? So Esau Edom will keep going until basically everyone is dead. Right? And that's why these days are sped up. That way he can't perform, what he's doing. Job 5:12, once again, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So yeah, Esau Edom won't be able to perform the things that he's trying to perform. He'll get to a certain point, but Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai has set the bounds that he cannot pass. So, and for that we're thankful. The whole Felek is very thankful. So once again, Proverbs 20:24 says, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of the water, he turns it whatsoever he will. Right? So Esau Edom is being led directly into a trap that's going to be his downfall. Right? And going back to here, Romans 13:11 says, and that knowing that the time, that now is the high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. First Thessalonians 5:4 says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Right? So we're very aware of the things that's happening. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand that he's trying to bring this new world order and the MOTB and different things, and through that he needs order out of chaos. So even in that video, if you watch the whole thing, kind of what they were saying is that that new order out of chaos is war with Russia. That's what's going to bring in more lockdowns and different things, martial law and all of that. So it's a number of ways that they can do this, but we understand prophecies that all these things must come to pass. So, but the end is not yet, basically, is what I was going to say. But we understand that the end is fastly approaching. Once all these things do happen and everything is done, then that will be the end, basically. So, I think I got everything. Right, so once again, this was just a blowing of the trumpet, pointed out that NATO is, actually trying to go ahead and move forward and join the war, which will be World War III. And, that's just one step closer to the MOTB, one step closer to the redemption, the redeeming of the Israelites, one step closer to, our ruling of the kingdom, basically. So with that, shalom.